Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this B matchup between ReGen Phoenix and Tiny Dancers. And I've got my co-caster Wraithling along with me. Wraithling, how's it going tonight?
Oh, it's going great. Excited to be here, avoiding any other big time event that might be going on
Is,
tonight
is
for
there
some
is there
great
something
NGS action.
is there something going on tonight? There's nothing that's more important than this matchup. Nothing at all. This
I
is
think that's probably correct,
this will
yes.
probably get ESPN coverage tomorrow, so look for that. Maybe the front page of the paper. Okay, so so before we get into the match, let's cover the map bans. So Tiny Dancers has banned out Cursed Hollow and Sky Temple. Regen Phoenix has banned out Infernal Shrines and Tomb of the Spider Queen. And Regen Phoenix has taken the first map pick, and they have chosen to send us to, I believe, Towers of Doom. Yep,
That's
Towers
what
of
it
Doom.
looks like here.
So before we get into the match, there's a lot riding on the line today, so let's talk about the standings a little bit. So I think everyone is ready to go. Let's tell the teams and have them go ahead and kick out the game, and we'll get started. Anything in particular
Sounds good.
you're looking forward to tonight, Rayflin? Any heroes you want to
Well,
see?
uh, you know, we kind of joked about it earlier, but feels like we're little fish in the big pond. You and I are Div D players and casters as of recent, and here we are taking on a Div B team. So pretty exciting. I hope to see a lot of things we wouldn't normally see in our games.
And I was just informed that I forgot to add a mic to the scene with the standings, so Wraithling and I had an in-depth conversation, all sorts of math flying around. It was for nothing. Just trust me, it was
Oh
awesome.
no,
Everybody can read. They can.
unfortunate.
Yep.
Well, the TLDR was there's a lot riding on this game.
Okay, so Regen got the map pick, so that puts first ban on two. Let's get over to the draft screen. On to Tiny Dancers. Think we're going to see any Oriole or Deathwing? Or do you think
I
they're
don't
going to
know.
ban it out?
Probably. It's probably gonna see a band pick. I'm hoping in Div B we might get to see some things like Maev, some
Yeah,
of those higher skill cap heroes we don't really get to see a lot of down in the D League.
yeah, there definitely are some heroes that you don't see, like Zol. That's a ban we don't see. They get rid of Zul'jin, and they snapped that pick in very quickly, so they evidently were ready. I don't know if that Zol is a targeted ban or if he's a common ban up here. So we'll see who
Yeah,
the second ban is.
Zul's got a lot of wave clear. He'd be good for this map. He can control and double suck both lanes.
So Johanna's gone. So then we do have Oriole
And
banned.
there, Ariel banned out that new, or not new, but reworked ultimate. It's just so strong that res.
So we have AG Silver AG with Garage. I'm just going to call him Silver the rest of the day.
Yep. Yeah, Garage is strong tank. Again, not something we see a lot of, so it'll be good to see how these guys play Garage and how to play around it. It'd be nice to see a
Victory for the Forsaken.
maybe a Dahaka here on Towers of Doom.
Like the Haka, I always like seeing the Haka if it's played well.
This realm needs me.
There's your girl Lee Ming.
I've been known to play Li Ming every now and then, and if she gets the resets going, she is amazing. And she'll have Lucio to back her up, so as long as there's not a ton of burst coming at her, she should be able to keep herself safe for the teleport.
So do you think we'll see Deathwing banned out in the second round of bans here?
That's a good question. I mean, he's always strong. I don't know if this is one of his stronger maps. We do have points to channel, but there are usually multiple points. It's not like Volskaya, for example, where there's one point wherever it's going to be, or Deathwing can just drop in on entire teams. So evidently no one's afraid of Deathwing.
Oh,
We get
there's a
Cho,
Cho'Gall.
and we get Gall.
This is off to a great start.
So we'll have to see what their name is. It'll be either Mubo or Drudge. I don't know. We'll have to see what Blizzard comes up with there.
Cho's name always goes first, man. Maybe
See,
the mud bow.
I learned
Said
something
Tychus
today.
can counter the Cho'Gall, high health target. Tychus ought to be able to get in there and put some hurting on him. Oh, and Leoric, another good counter to your high health targets. And Murky. This ought to be a lot of fun to watch. These are not a lot of standard pick heroes that you see quite so often. But just looking at it, it looks like ReGen Phoenix has a ton of pushing power. You know, Cho'Gall, good siege, Murky. He's gonna have to be babysat the entire match, and Sylvanas.
Unfortunately, on this map, Murky can't push the core, but he can push towers down. And if he can get them a 5-4 advantage, even if they take towers back, you know, if he can go on to the next one and keep them chasing him, and you have to have someone babysit him, he can really be just a pest and really disrupt the entire team, take them completely out of their rhythm.
So, what do you think about the draft?
I
who do you favor more?
Prepare yourself for battle.
I think I probably. Oops, sorry about that. I think I probably got to go with the more traditional draft for Tiny Dancers, but then again, I don't know what these guys know. So I'll give the introductions here. We've got Silver on Garrosh, we've got Feldroth on Tychus, we've got Elijah on. They're too close together. Somewhere in there we have Lucio, Leoric, and Tychus. And on the red team,
Red team, we've got Madria on Cho'Gall, Rabid Penguin on Sylvanas, Darabo on Ana, and Arrow on Murky.
Oh, so we must have had a swap in there that we didn't notice. So the red team comes out to play in the mid, but no one is there to play with them.
Yeah, I think they might have been expecting a little tower cheese, perhaps, with that Sylvanas.
Perhaps. So we've got Tychus up on the top, nobody in the bottom yet. So
I have to tell you, I really do like the ReGen Phoenix draft a bit more, just a bit non-standard. I'm excited to see it, and I think if they play it right, then it's going to be pretty successful.
I'm intrigued by the draft. I'm not sure I'm in love with it, but I'm definitely intrigued, and as someone who just gets to watch this game, I think it could be exciting. So we go back to mid, so Murky gets killed, Tychus takes care of him.
Not a big deal when you lose your Murky, you know, he's going to be back, he's back up already.
Yeah, if you see that Murky death pop up every 20 seconds, that's a problem. If you don't, you're okay. So ReGen Phoenix is going to go ahead and take their camp as soon as it's up. XP's pretty close. Tychus not even really paying much attention to Cho'Gall, throwing out a spooky hand. Misses, but just getting wave clear. So Tiny Dancers have snipped out that camp. I don't know that they're going to be able to come in and engage. Cho'Gall is such a big body. And I think
Yep.
they make the right call and just back up. I would expect them to take their camp soon. I don't know if we'll get the invade from ReGen Phoenix. I'll just see how that works. Looks
I'm
like they're
excited. Just with the draft like this, I kind of expect them to go for it. I think
Yep.
they're just out here having fun.
on the mini map.
Oh.
Oh,
Looks like we got Merc soaking both lanes while they're
Yeah.
applying the pressure down
Ace.
in bottom.
yep. XP is still pretty close. Garage throws one of the sappers away. I think he prevented it from taking out a tower. That was actually a nice little play there. They do get part of one tower and a wall. So we see Cho'Gall has that sneaky little eye. Oh, he moved the eye. He's trying to anchor there with it.
Will rise shortly here.
And he's going to go in, and he does get tossed. Cho'Gall's taking a lot of damage. I think he's going to be able to get
Cho'Gall's
out.
getting low.
Yep. But
I
think
like
this,
the invade, but looks like they're gonna not be able to get conversion.
Yep. So we do have 3 towers up. We'll have to see which ones we get. Usually you'll see blue team take left, red team take right, and then we fight over the mid one. Not always. Sometimes you get a cheeky invade. Doesn't look like we're going to get one here. I see Murky and Leoric up top. So they're taking theirs.
Tops
We have
are
the fight
trading
here.
out, and they're gonna fight bottom, pretty standard.
Yep.
Oh,
So Anna's down there
Anna's
getting
gone
some
in.
soak. Rabid Penguin
Yeah.
goes down. Doesn't have Anna to shoot him with the healing sauce. So Murky's going to come in and harass, like we talked about. He goes down. Not a big deal. So we do have Ming getting the channel, and I think they're going to be able to zone her out, and they do. So we have another 4 shots. So blue team gets off to an early lead, 36-32.
well done on the side of Tiny Dancers there.
And in the mid down here, if we go look at the blue side of the map, we do have 2 towers up. We just have 1 tower up on the red side, and they're making a little bit of a push here. Tyke is getting that minigun out.
Yeah, it's really gonna be. See, Murky's rotating down for something cheeky, perhaps. Maybe he's gonna put rob a camp or something. Did he take rob?
Oh,
That
Sylvanas is deleted. I believe that's the 2nd time she's gone down. And they are, I think, Tiny Dancers are going to get that tower. They do. Garage does get sleep. He might be in a little bit of trouble, but he gets harder to kill as he gets down, so he's going to be able to sneak out. Lucio's there keeping the team nice and topped up. Let's take a look at talents. Do we have any stacking talents? So we do have Cho'Gall with bombs away at 4. Li Ming with a looks like she's going with a standard orb build with power hungry, so she'll be even more powerful when she gets that globe. Cho'Gall's taking a lot of damage there.
Yeah, Tiny Dancers is really just taking it very aggressive here, and you know I'd expect to see more double soaked on Murky. I think the key to victory here with this Cho'Gall is going to be getting ahead, getting those powerful talents and that spike from Cho'Gall before the other team can.
It's really easy to play from ahead with Cho'Gall. I find it a little difficult to play from behind with him though. So with the two altars up, we'll probably see just trade. So we see Leroy channeling on the left. We see
Looks
Murky
like
channeling
ReGen's
on the
going
right.
for an invade on
Oh,
this
they are.
sapper camp bottom.
Cho'Gall gets in there with the big body. Garage is kind of low, but he's got all the armor. And Tiny Dancers does take the camp, so I like the thought of the invade, just they weren't able to get it done. So I think they'll probably defend the sappers down here. At higher levels, this bottom lane is really where the game is won or lost most times. If you gain control of the bottom lane, it's really, really hard to come back and win in the top 2 lanes. So this is a really good sign, I think, for Tiny Dancers that they're able to dominate this lane. So we've got 4 members down here. They really, really want this tower, and we do
the
have.
Entomb is out, and Sylvanas is in trouble.
Sylvanas, that's 3 for her, I believe. And she's already died like what 2 or 3 times in the lore, so she's used to it by now. So Tyka's in on Cho'Gall. I think he and Derivo, Azana, are going to escape, and they are going to take that. We don't have 10s yet for ReGen Phoenix. Let's pop our talents
Murky
up here.
looks like Murky looks like he's getting some work done. He's pushing both lanes in and top really far at this point.
Yep. Going for that camp.
You know,
But we will have
you
a
know,
fight here.
Since you mentioned it, that's how I base how well I do on my heroes, is if I've died as much as that hero died in the lore or not.
So we take Tychus has the drill. We saw the Entomb come out. Lucio with the
Tiny
sound barrier.
Come and protect this tower. They're not going to give it up. And a nice scoop from Cho'Gall there.
Li Ming with the beam. Make everyone respect that. So we do see Tiny Dancers heading over. They're not even going to try and channel yet. Tychus doing a really good job of keeping everyone at bay with that minigun.
Oh, with the Cho'Gall with the got entombed though. Nano boosted Cho'Gall, but got entombed and just stuck in between all the Tiny Dancers.
Doing a lot of damage, but wasn't able to keep himself up there. And so we see the altar go over to Tiny Dancers.
Yep, ReGen has their tower back, so that's a good thing though. You know, I think they can really turn this game around again if they get to, 13 and 16. Maybe if Sylvanas gets a little extra range so she can stay safer from that garage. And then those talents come on for Cho'Gall. They may start dominating this more in the late game, but as long as they can keep from getting too far behind here.
Yep. So we do see Tiny Dancers taking the tower, so they had the 5-3 tower advantage. My guess is that ReGen will be cleaning it up as soon as it pops, but they can't do anything now, so there's no point in hanging around. They'll go get some soak.
I think they're going to need to rotate now and start defending. Get that mid defend. I think they're.
Yep.
Tiny Dancers is looking to take that one there, but they've backed off. Big fight coming up here. We're gonna get another Nano.
Oh, we have the Entomb come out too.
He's Nano, but he's Entombed.
Cho'Gall's going to take Leoric down. I think no. Leoric getting a ton of heals.
The Skeleton King somehow still alive. Wow.
So,
oh, and now they're down 2 for 2 trade so far.
wow.
Silence.
Li Ming just put that beam right into Sylvanas' face. That was very, very brave, but she got away with it, and she took glass cannon. So that if she get an orb, she has a ton of spell power. So Sylvanas realizing that didn't chase it too much.
I really thought Rabbit Penguin on that Sylvanas was going to pick 2 up as they retreated, but they just barely escaped somehow.
Okay, so
Sylvanas to ReGen.
Joined by Cho'Gall and Murky. Murky kind of zoning and annoying in the front.
Show his hero damage, show what he can do with that zoning Murky.
Li Ming, maybe we'll get some resets off that Murky. I haven't seen it happen yet, but we'll see if it happens. When I play Li Ming,
yeah,
I'd love to see Murky on the other squad.
That's a good point. He's got to really use his bubble wisely to keep from getting those big resets, turning those team fights around quick.
So we're back at 4 towers apiece. There is a sapper camp coming in from left to right, so they'll probably have to stay and defend that.
ReGen only down 4 core points, so this is the game. This is the map where you can be down and still make a big comeback. It's got a huge comeback.
So Cho'Gall with the engage.
Octo grab onto Garage. He's
is that going to kill
a little
Garage?
bit of trouble.
Garage
and it looks like he
down.
goes down, but Cho'Gall is in trouble. He's used his stasis. He does not make it out of the Entomb.
That Entomb is well named there. R.I.P. Cho, R.I.P. Gall.
Yep. And
Would there be 2 funerals for that or just 1? I don't know how that works.
Save a little money and go for 1.
So we do have the invade here, and Tiny Dancers takes the camp.
You hate to lose a Cho'Gall when you don't get but 1 kill from the other team. It's just not a fair trade.
Tiny Dancers taking that back.
Their bottom again. Unfortunate.
Revo just clearing up minions, getting the soak.
Yeah.
And then we do have we have an engage. They're flanking Anna. Anna's in trouble. The beam goes out on her, and
Lucio is stuck on Anna. I don't think she can get away with that Lucio.
Cho'Gall did a good job trying to
Cho'Gall
zone her
throwing it
out.
to the back with the taunt. Are they gonna take Cho'Gall down too?
So much damage. Oh, Ming with
I
the
think
orb.
just barely gets away. Looks like ReGen still managed to get their tower on their side though, so still staying in the game.
Bring down the Gravekeeper's call.
Tiny Dancers picked up
You're
the other
losing
two,
your
but had a bonus shot because they still had ReGen's bottom tower. Looks like they're moving to mid.
Yep. So you take one tower, then while the other team's converting it back, you take another tower and just get them to chase up and down and up and down, and that can be really hard. You've got to break that cycle, and you've got to do something. I don't know that we're quite in desperation time yet, but I really feel like I'd like to see ReGen do something here. They are on uneven talents here. They're down a little bit in XP, but not much. But I think you just got to get a pick. So Leoric takes a lot of damage, but he's going to escape.
It looks like ReGen is doing
Cho'Gall goes
exactly
in.
what you said. They're going in for a big engage.
Big octo grab.
Got a nano boost on the Cho'Gall again. Sylvanas is really low though. They're having to back up.
She escapes somehow though, and she gets
That
a
was
nice heal.
Still a good engage. They lost Murky for Garage, so now they can use this maybe to get their tower back or get aggressive and maybe steal one of the Tiny Dancers.
Looks like they're
Looks
going
like
to do
they're
the safe thing.
getting theirs.
Prepare yourselves, heroes. The altars rise. Red team has destroyed.
So with only 2 altars up here, if I'm Tiny Dancers, I'm okay to trade here. If you get a pick, that's fine. They take the camp, just trying to rule that bottom lane.
Cho'Gall is on top of Tychus.
Oh, Tychus in trouble.
Some trouble. I think
Tychus
he's
is done.
down. I think now ReGen gets both of these. It'd be tough for them to interrupt both of these
Be
channels.
swift, heroes.
Tiny Dancers, that is.
Let the Gravekeeper's cronies reach the
So we have Derivo
They
with the
go in
bottom
balls.
channel.
I believe they're gonna try and slip a boss capture in here. Oh no, they
Interesting.
thought better of it. Look like they may have considered it and thought better of it. ReGen taking the bottom tower of Tiny Dancers right now though.
Yeah, and I think with the minions coming in, they're going to take that. They'll probably take it and then bail out, which they do. So this game looked like it was maybe slipping away, but I look at the score, I see ReGen only down by 4, and I see them with a full level talent lead, so they'll have 20s coming up very soon.
You know, what was interesting as I was taking that tower, I noticed Leoric coming in from behind. There was a 5-on-4, but the team backed off. I think that was maybe a little misplay. They may have been able to entomb with the garage throw taunt. Could have been a combo to capture a few of them out there.
I guess for whatever reason, he just did the math in his head and said, nope, I'm not going to be able to do this.
Yeah.
What did Li Ming take at 16? Yep, so she's full on orbs. She's got the long distance orbs here. So
And it looks like Leoric is stealing a ReGen tower on top as they fight to get these two sappers in.
oh, we have the octo grab.
Oh no, who was that?
Derivo. Ana got thrown. So the drill comes out. They do have the tower to protect them. Cho'Gall goes into stasis. Murky does go down.
Murky resets. Yep, and ReGen backs off and leaves his tower alone. Looks like their offlaners are gonna capture sappers on top, try to get some shots in from top.
Yep. I would kind of like
Tiny
them to
Dancers
just.
has lane pressure top. They're gonna get this bottom altar, I think, free while ReGen defends top.
Take the altars.
Oh, they're gonna go for a capture on that bottom tower.
Yep.
Interesting. You like to see that. I don't know if that's something we would see a lot in D, is the patience to grab a tower before
Red team has
grabbing altar.
destroyed the fort.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to just say let's play the map and get the tower, but to have the patience
Tower now belongs
to let your team get that. Now you get the extra shot. The clutch. We do have ReGen on the boss. I don't know that Tiny Dancers have sniffed it out. I don't know if they care. No, it looks like they are. They are thinking about the boss.
It's gonna be a big fight here. Entomb.
So the boss is dead. No one has captured it.
Oh, Entomb
Cho'Gall.
is up. Oh my goodness. Oh,
Murky for Garage. That's a good trade.
and it looks like Tiny Dancers has stolen this boss. Cho'Gall trying to use that nano boost goes back in, but no good. So now ReGen kind of has her back against the wall. Like we said earlier, you're never down and out in this map until the very final core shot, but both teams on 20, so they need a really good team fight to turn this around.
So ReGen is just going to take the tower back, but in the top, Tiny Dancer says you can have the bottom, we'll take the top one. So that top-bottom pressure continues. They're going
I
to be...
think the play for ReGen here is just to go and counter a bottom.
Has destroyed.
Looks like they're going for that camp, gonna grab the sappers for a little help on that. Yeah, this is really exciting, just back and back, stealing these towers back and forth.
So with 5 towers on the side of Tiny Dancers, they only need 1. A trade wins them the game. Unless ReGen is able to take a tower, but I don't see that happening. They do have the sappers coming in, but they only have 15 seconds till this pops. We'll see if they're able to escort those in. But they're going to have to make something happen. It's kind of do or die time. I wouldn't be surprised to see some kind of YOLO action here. So we do have to throw in a Murky.
Throw on the Murky. Nano boost on the Cho'Gall. They're in trying to take down that garage. He does fall. Now they're
Cho'Gall,
going after a big entomb with the silence on it.
he gets out of the entomb this time. So are they able to interrupt the channel? They are. Lucio and Ming may be in trouble here. Cho'Gall takes out Lucio. So
And that orb just barely misses Derivo on the channel, but does get interrupted from the magic missiles.
she's going to pay for it. So we have a five on 1. I don't know what Tychus can do at this point, but watch.
This is an amazing. We were talking about the patience. Derivo cancels channel, waits for this tower to get captured. You know, that was great.
I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I could.
Are they gonna wait? I think they're gonna wait and capture yet another tower. Derivo just camping out there, waiting at the altar. Leoric is getting a little spooky, about to respawn.
And look what we have in the top. Murky is thinking about it. With Leoric up at this point, I'd probably go ahead and try and get that channel. I don't think I'd wait on the fish. Derivo says, yeah, that's a good idea. So we are now down 10-5. Oh, Cho'Gall is thrown over the border there, and he's taunted. He's in the entomb and silenced. Oh, he does go into stasis, though. Is he going to survive this? No, he does not.
He is not.
Oh!
Throw into the. Oh my goodness.
That was some masterful Cho'Gall, or not Cho'Gall, garage there.
Yeah, that double throw into the cannon fire was very, very bad. Devastating.
So lucky for ReGen, there isn't an altar up right now. And the boss isn't up for 137. Boss doesn't win. It only gets you 4 shots. So they're in trouble, but it's not fatal at this point. They're just bleeding a little bit.
I'm guessing the plan is get the sappers, push the sappers in. Towers are now even, although they're a little wonkily distributed.
Yeah, this is an odd configuration for the towers.
So Tiny Dancer's grabbing the camp on the side of ReGen. Gonna probably try to push both of these camps in, I think. That would finish the game off. 3 seconds on the Cho'Gall respawn. Anana coming up in 2. I don't know, I don't think they get this, but the altar was still...
There's one sapper, there's 2 sappers. So we're down to 2 shots. Cho'Gall comes in, throws some damage, but he's low himself.
Yep, that silence entomb is just killing him. And he's hitting it, usually landing 1 to 2 heroes. So now this is kind of checkmate. They got the altar up, 3 sappers coming in. Cho'Gall throws one in, or Garrosh rather throws one in.
What do you got in the What do you got in the playbook for this one, Wraithlin? Not much you can do. And we see the core go down.
That was just a rough matchup, especially once the 20s came online and that entomb threw a silence in. It was hard for Cho'Gall to get out if he was the target. Leoric just blocked him in there. And of course Tychus is just draining his health down, and then the resets for Li Ming. That was brutal.
Yeah, so we do see Gall, leading and damage here. Um, but then we have Li Ming with a lot of damage right behind him, and Li Ming with the 5-9-1. If you can't put Ming down, and she's able to stay comfortable, and she seemed very, very comfortable the entire game. She did have the one death in the mid lane where they chased her down, but other than that, she was basically able to just stand back and throw orbs. And when you take that build, and especially when you go glass cannon at 13, that's that's death to the other team if Li Ming just sits back. So okay, well
Yeah.
let's head over to the game summary, and we'll make it official, and we'll give Tiny Dancers the first point, and we'll see where we are going next. Where would you like to see us go, Wraithling?
I'm expecting Infernal Shrines or Dragonshire.
Well, Infernal Shrines was banned, so you won't see Infernal Shrines
Ah.
unless somebody is cheating.
Unfortunate. Oh,
So
what about Dragonshire then?
we could do Dragonshire. Let's take a quick look at our. Yeah, let's come back here. We showed you guys the standings, forgetting that we don't have a mic on that scene. So Wraithling and I, once again, like Einstein level conversation, no one will ever hear it. Thanks, Murder, for pointing that out. Sorry about
Oh,
that.
me.
So we are
It,
going to Braxis Holdout. And Tiny Dancers picked the map, so ReGen Phoenix will get the first pick. And I think we're ready if the teams are ready.
I'm ready.
Yeah, so just in a nutshell, to recap that conversation we had while we were away, um, ReGen Phoenix will not be able to take first place, so they won't be able to move up. If this map goes to Tiny Dancers will jump over ReGen Phoenix into second place and push them down to third. If ReGen Phoenix takes this game and then Tiny Dancers takes the next game, Tiny Dancers will jump up to fourth. They'll jump up one spot. So ReGen Phoenix basically just has to keep their second spot. They need to win this, and then if they win this, the third game doesn't matter for them as much. But I think it still matters. No, it would matter for
Man,
Tiny Dancers at that point. So we've got
it's
a
too
little
bad.
pause here, waiting on the teams to get ready.
It's too bad they couldn't hear our big brain conversation here. Yep, maybe see in the chat a suggestion if maybe they intentionally lost. I don't know. It seemed like they played pretty hard. It obviously wasn't a what do they call that when you take a dive? Wasn't an obvious dive. Uh, but in any event, it just feels like maybe, like I had said, they got too far behind early to pull the win out.
So the only way I think that makes any sense is if they don't want to play the 8th place team. We'll have to ask if they do win. We'll have to ask them what they were thinking there in the in the post game interview. Maybe they know something about that. All right,
Maybe
so
Tiny Dancers passed them a few in-game gems or in-game triangles to take a dive here.
are you saying we need an investigation? I think that's what you're saying. All right, so let's get after the draft.
Zul'jin banned out again.
My guess is
The
that's a targeted ban.
Must have a great Zul'jin player.
Yeah, I didn't have time this
Sabotage.
afternoon to really dig into Stats of the Storm, so my apologies. Not surprising, Oriole. Not going to be played this game. We didn't see any Deathwing involvement at all that last game. I wonder if we see it here. He might get a little more value with the single channel. Kel'Thuzad gone. No chains coming off of the Zerg. Did they fix that? I can't remember if that's still a thing. Chad, if you know and can help me out, would appreciate
What's the thing?
it. Something with Kel'Thuzad's chains. He used to be able to chain the large Zerg.
Oh right, yeah, I don't know. No, he was banned out for a while on this map, but I'm not sure
Yeah.
about his stat.
Yep. So Johanna, no one ever gets fired for picking or banning Johanna. That's just safe and solid. It's usually a good decision too. I love Johanna.
So a typical strong first pick on this map is your offlaner, and they're gonna pick up a tank with Mal'Ganis.
I wonder if they'll put Anna with the Mal'Ganis. Put everyone to sleep. It'll be like a ninth grade geometry class. We've got Garrosh coming out. That Garrosh was pretty good the last game. And we pair an Uther with it. So my guess is you'll see Uther waiting behind Garrosh just ready to stun the crap out of whoever gets thrown. I feel sorry for them.
I've learned the hard way that Uther can be a pretty good counter to Mal'Ganis as he cut down your all your sleep, and as you're trying to do your fell claws through the team, a good stun just sets you down. They pick up Rexar. That's definitely going to be their top laner, a solo laner. So
Yeah.
good, solid pick.
Yeah, true. You're right about the CC shutting down Mal'Ganis. Uther's really good at it, but anyone that could just shut him down, if he's CC'd, he can't do his tricks, and then he goes down fairly quickly. If you don't CC him, whew, man, he's hard to kill. I've seen many a team decide we're going to chase Mal'Ganis, and it's always a bad decision because you always think you're going to kill him, and it never happens. So we see Rhaegar go down. They don't want Rhaegar running around getting camps.
Personally, I'm excited to see this Kel'Thas play. You know, we see a fair amount of him in Div D. He's usually almost always ban pick, so it'll be good to see what the guys here in B can do with him. And the Li Ming banned out. I feel like that was probably a respect ban.
I was a respect ban, and just she's a really good ban. Even if they hadn't played her the first
True.
game, I'm not surprised to see the Li Ming ban. So what are we going to see out of Tiny Dancers here?
Anytime you're ready.
Raynor and Anduin both just solid all-around picks.
Yep, so double support. So is this gonna be like an off lane or a bruiser Uther?
I'm not sure. You could play Uther as a main tank, but you don't need a main tank here. So we'll have to see how they handle this.
This
Maybe you do put Uther up in the solo lane. I'm not sure.
this is a big brain strategy that we've not seen the likes of.
I was just thinking the same thing. I feel like we're two 5-year-olds walking to first grade, walking by some college students talking about theoretical physics. We're just
I
catching
feel
little
like
glances.
Uther has to go top lane here. I mean, somebody you got Jaina for slows, and I'm guessing Raynor takes Ace in the hole. You know, Jaina's got good wave clear. Rainer can help them kill these heroes that are going to be pestering them.
Rainer Jaina, if he goes, do you think he'll go ace in the hole here with the Jaina slow?
I mean,
I know your
every
feelings
game,
about ace in the hole.
every game's an ace in the whole game, baby. Yeah. So, whose draft do you like more going into this one?
I was just gonna ask you. I think probably I like ReGen Phoenix here. I'm not sure. I really like the Uther with this comp. You already have Garrosh up front, so you don't need the main tank Uther. I'm a little concerned. Actually, I'm a lot concerned that Uther's not going to be able to heal off bombs because he's just he's not the kind of healer that heals off a ton of burst. So on the right side we have Feldroth on Raynor. We have Elijah on Uther. We have Materium on Jaina. We have Liddell on Anduin. And we have Silver on Garrosh. And take us over to the red team.
Okay, we got Mudge
Systems
running
online.
the Rexar.
10 seconds.
We've got Aria on.
5,
The name escapes
4,
me all of a sudden.
3,
I'll come back to
2,
that. Deribo on
1.
Kel'Thas. Arrow is
Facility
running Mal'Ganis. Rabid Penguin on Greymane. And Stukov is Aria. Correct.
So it looks like Raynor's going to handle solo lane duties.
Interesting. Okay. Well,
Mal-
that makes sense.
Mal'Ganis goes in and might want to rethink that decision. He's got 10 seconds to think about what he's done. So a little tiny burst of XP on the side of Tiny Dancers.
Yeah, I totally missed that. I was checking out the top lane. I'm guessing he got stuck in the towers.
Yeah. He walked in and got CC'd, and they put him down. Old Yeller style.
My initial reaction is that I think Jaina has a lot of good wave clear with Raynor. And, if he takes ace in the hole, which he did not, a lot of hero damage. But I feel like this is going to be tough for them to fight against the Living Bomb with the Greymane combination. So I give the edge slightly to ReGen here again.
So don't look at Raynor's first talent. You're going to be angry. Just look away.
Yeah, I noticed that he did not take my favorite talent.
You want Veterans Marksman. Uther, we have Hammer the Lightbringer. Doesn't surprise me. Arrow comes in, puts Garrosh to sleep. Stukov's got the silence down. Not able to really do anything with it, but that's going to be a good combo. The silence and the sleep. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Let's go look at the top lane real quick. So we just have Raynor stacking up his quest, and Mudge will be diving the bear on him. Raynor stands his ground. He'll be able to come back.
I feel like this is mainly gonna be Raynor's job, just to make sure he gets the XP and doesn't lose a lot of XP. He's not gonna. I don't think he can bully him Rexar off of that point.
So we did have Mal'Ganis leading charge to that camp. They were able to take the camp and delete Uther in the process. He got flipped over the wall by Garrosh, but he was able to escape out the top side. And we do have ReGen Phoenix. They're channeling. We're at 76%. I don't think there's anything that Tiny Dancers can do. Maybe if Garrosh gets on the point right now. But the way they changed the objective, nope, it's done.
Not in time. You know, you gotta be thinking, I wish this was pre-change. We're just standing on the point because of contest.
Yeah, I like that better. I'm not a fan of that because you have situations like that where you can't react, but I'm sure they have the data that says that makes the game better.
ReGen Phoenix really coming in strong here. Looks like Rexar just took out Raynor in the top lane as well. So
Yep.
no soaking in that lane as ReGen just pushes strong down bottom with this big 100% wave.
And I haven't called it out yet. I'm watching the count. Deribo has 11 stacks of Convection. I feel about Convection the way you feel about Ace in the Hole, but the other way, so we'll just have to defer to the geniuses in B East. Bow to them. Uther's in trouble. Uther's asleep. Anduin does pull him out, so Leap of Faith is down for 75 seconds, I believe. So we still have Guardians. Kel'Thas is up there with the Guardians throwing out the auto attacks. I love to see a mage who doesn't mind throwing some autos in there.
So ReGen's off to a good start. They've taken the bottom port, and they're up a level and a half, just about.
And it looks like are they thinking about Rainer?
Eliminated.
Boss isn't up yet. So I guess they're just kind of scouting around. I wonder if they were looking at the hard camp on the left side there. So they're going to take their easy camp.
My gut tells me they were hoping Rainer would come out a bit too far, but I
Oh,
think
here we-
Rexar has him spooked, so he would not leave the wall. And they invade on the hard camp.
Yep.
The
Misha
bear
is going
scouting
in,
it out.
sniffing it out. And the camp is leashed.
Seven's coming online for ReGen, so they could fight here with a bit of
Yep.
an advantage.
So Kaltos going with Burn Flesh. And I'm guessing he'll go Fury of the Sun Wall 16, just throwing flame strikes all day. Zukov with a nice silence there, preventing anyone from really defending that wall. So they do take one turret. The other turret is under trouble from the minions, and it does fall. So that wall is gone. The wall on the right side is fairly healthy. Down on the bottom, the wall on the side of ReGen is healthy, and well, there isn't a wall on the side of Tiny Dancers. So
And it looks like they've swapped up their offlaner, so they're going to put Rexar down here alone. Rainer's responded to that. Just keeping the 4-man here to protect this top fort. Try to give themselves some forward defenses. ReGen picks up their hard camp in the bottom. You know, I think this obviously is going to be a much better trade for ReGen, because they've got the 4-man there, just obviously to defend against the Tiny Dancers 4-man. And, yep, Tiny Dancers has to respond to that camp.
Uther's finished his Hammer of the Lightbringer, so he gets a stun, or he gets the cooldown reduction on his stun with all of his basic attacks. That could be really impressive if he's able to get up front and keep basic attacks flowing. That stun just comes out too often. Arrow tries to
Arrow is
escape.
thrown into the back. That silence really helps him get away.
Yeah, nice play, Stukov. Well played.
Rainer has cleaned up the hard camp in bottom here. The siege, the flame camp, held up the waves, so he was able to take that out. He's rotating to give them a 5-on-4. It pays off as
The silence doesn't get
Mal'Ganis
him out.
falls.
Greymane goes
Now they're
down.
down Greymane as well.
I was just about to say that Tiny Dancers was down an entire level, but they're no longer down. They're down a little bit less than half a level. Those 2 kills really helped.
That was a really good rotation. Rainer saw that Rexar was busy in the lane, and he just went to give them a 4-on-5 before 10. And
So
it
we've
worked
got
out.
Rainer and Misha will be fighting over the point here. Oh, we have
I
Tiny
don't think
Dancers
Rexar
collapsing.
expects this, what's
Nope.
coming up.
Nope, and I
He
think
was not expecting the
he's
3-man
slowed. Jaina
rotation.
slowed him, but he does fall.
Rainer finishes him off with the Q.
You know why? Veteran marksman.
Yeah, that was it. In the meantime, ReGen is taking advantage and taking back the top point, so no full cap just yet.
They do have 10s online. We have Stukov with a shove. We have Cursed Bullet coming out for that big single target damage from Greymane. We have Unleash the Boars coming out. We have Phoenix. That's probably a good choice here. And then we have Carrion Swarm from Mal'Ganis. So we'll be able to dive in, pop the ult, and become really, really hard to kill. Will Zoning Phoenix keep them off the point, but it's done now. They come in.
Arrow is thrown in the back again, and Ring of Frost misses. Arrow's still going to go down. Mal'Ganis, Greymane as well.
Greymane did a good job to just stand there in the center of the ring and not get chilled, but it was just he had to be there too long. I don't think he had a chance once the ring dropped around him.
Tiny Dancer's team fight is really coming online here in the
Yeah, I feel like the Jaina
10
Rainer's
plus
getting
part of the game.
a lot of synergy. Oh, so we've got a fight
and,
over the bottom point.
Uther having his stun completed, he's really able to shut down a lot of that Mal'Ganis front line. Mal'Ganis, I think, is going to have a tough time for the rest of the game. He's going to be, you know, he's all about engaging, but he's going to have to engage into a throw and a stun, Ring of Frost. It's going to be pretty tough on him. And if he gets hit with the ice from Jaina, then he's going to be slowed as well.
Misha coming up. Jaina just walks away. She'll give it the point. They've got 90% of it, so there's no urgency really to get that.
And
Another nice throw.
Stukov is thrown. Light bomb. Oh, the light bomb is what total stunned us.
Greymane's in trouble. Can he?
I think
Nope.
he is not gonna make it away. And the Ring of Frost on the arrow. Mal'Ganis is gonna go down. Oh, he's just gonna bear it.
Oh.
No. Jaina takes him out with a Q.
Spoke too soon. So let's
He did.
look at the ults for Tiny Dancers. We have Hyperion, so that great zone AoE. We have Divine Storm, not surprising. We have Light Bomb. We have Warlord's Challenge, and then we have Ring. So there's a lot of opportunity here for Uther to come in with Divine Storm, and then maybe throw a Light Bomb, then maybe throw a Ring on it. There's a lot of, let's kill this little area. Could be
We've
hard.
seen that firsthand, and if you ask Mal'Ganis, he'll tell you for sure that there is a lot of stun as he goes to engage. You know, on the other hand, from ReGen, we've got the massive shove and Curse Bullet, slows from Unleash the Boars and Phoenix, Carrigan Swarm from Mal'Ganis. So, you know, you really want to probably see the Stukov open up the engage with a shove and just get Garrosh out of there. He can. I think that may be the only way they start turning these team fights around.
Yep, so it looks like they might be rotating down. They do have a 5v4 here if they hustle. And we have two members of ReGen Phoenix taking the camp, although I think they'll be able to come in for the fight. Misha on the point. Oh, Misha gets stunned and he's slowed by Jaina, but he's able to scamper away to safety. So they are going to get 100% there. We have 100 to 78%, so it's not completely one-sided. We do have a talent lead for Tiny Dancers, but 13 will be coming
ReGen?
online here shortly.
I think
for
ReGen did a great job there. You know, even though they seem to be losing the team fights, they still got the 78% on their channel. So, you know, nothing to be ashamed of there.
Nice Phoenix to keep everyone honest there. Arrow coming out, trying to get some sleeps.
Yeah, pretty aggressive play. I think that puts him in a real dangerous position
Yeah.
behind all
The
that
light
Zerg.
bomb, he's going to escape.
But he makes it out. That's great.
While Kalthos takes Uther down.
Kel'Thas is rooted and Raynor takes advantage. But it looks like they may keep this fort. They've been able to fight the Tiny Dancers off. As Tiny Dancers did lose their top fort, though. Looked like they maybe only... I don't think they left anybody to defend. I think Jaina had just backed.
Yep, but now we're talking about keep wall. Looks like the wall is going to... They are going to save one turret. We got minions there. I think they're going to be able to defend it, but it's just right for the taking. So we do have... Oh, bush
ReGen
party.
has moved into a bush party. Garrosh is coming
ReGen is
through
waiting.
and puts him to sleep. Sleep into
And
the
the
silence.
silence.
Curse
And-
bullet.
And the bombs.
Garrosh is gone.
Take a look at our damage stats here real quick. Yep, we do have Kalthos leading the way. And what's this yellow square around convection? I've never seen that in my Storm League games. Does that mean it's completed?
The fabled completed convection quest.
It is possible. Doribos shows us the way. And we're going to burn this boss down. I don't know if Tiny Dance has anything to say. They are
Oh,
going to come
big
in. The boss
sleep's
is not
coming
done
out.
yet.
They're gonna get that for the arrow, putting everybody to sleep on that infinity.
Even
Ring
if-
of Frost hits 3.
Even if Arrow had gone in and died, I think it would have been worth it to secure the boss. So that was a good play to just go in and put people to sleep and kind of zone.
Yep, it's a feels bad moment when you have to burn your Ring of Frost defensively, trying to get out of that situation. But hit 3 kept ReGen from being able to follow him.
So if you look at just the kill stats, we do have 10 to 4 on the side of Tiny Dancers. But if you look at the map right now, does it look like a 10 to 4 difference?
It does
really,
not.
It doesn't. I mean,
ReGen. They've
Arrow's
done a
been
great
really...
job of losing the fights, but keeping the map in their favor.
Yep, good macro. Arrow's dived in a couple times where it looks like maybe it wasn't a great idea, but you look at the map and they're making it work for him. Arrow comes in with the... He just gets sleep on Garrosh.
Yeah, I think that was a bit of a missed synergy there as he slept Garrosh and Stukov put the arm out to try to push him back at the same time.
I wonder if he just read the situation and said, yeah, it's not worth going in. We don't have anything to gain, so I'm just gonna put Garrosh away for a second and get away. Sometimes discretion is a better part of valor, they say.
Yep, ReGen grabbing another camp. This is gonna go top lane where that keep looks to be about half.
Yep, they're
Uh,
painting the map red.
just another point is how they don't seem to be winning the team fight, but the map is still heavily in their favor.
So we do have 16s online for ReGen. They'll be up shortly for Tiny Dancers, but they're not here quite yet. And we do see Fury of the Sunwell, so we'll see lots and lots of Flame Strikes. We'll see what he takes at 20. I'm really interested to see what talent he puts with that.
ReGen getting the channel going already. Be interrupted soon. We're gonna have a big fight at top coming up.
I'd like to see them take a fight now right before 16. And that's maybe what they're going to do.
I think you would like to see it, but Tiny Dancers does not want that, and they are in a full retreat here trying to prevent that exact situation.
Light Bomb, a little bit of miscommunication there. Garrosh came back with a Light Bomb, so he didn't get a lot of value out of it. So that ult's burned for another 44 seconds yet. Raynor throws the Hyperion out, but doesn't get a ton of value, just pushes everyone back.
It looks like we got somebody leaving the game here, maybe a disconnect.
Uh-oh.
He's back. He's back.
Oh, and one's
All
back.
good. Yeah, I think maybe either the light bomb was an AI call or maybe a defensive to keep him from getting slept. Oh, and the root hits Greymane in the back. He's not able to get into the fight. Jaina gets pretty low. The bear is putting a lot of pressure on her. She's retreating. Nisha's down.
Silver goes down, so Garrosh is out.
ReGen gets 100% channel and a kill.
And I think they've got to be thinking about at minimum keep, but if they play their cards right, this could be game. We do have 16s for Tiny Dancers here. They're down 5v4. They don't have that Garrosh up in the front.
Yep, but this I think they definitely get keep. They get another kill, it'll be core for sure. This Greymane can just burn so quickly.
So much going on. We'll zoom out a little bit more. Arrow
Like
going in
Arrow's
again, get some
gonna-
sleep.
And missed the light bomb there again. Stukov taking a little damage from the blizzard.
I think it's in ReGen's
Low, gunned
best.
out.
ReGen just needs to delay here and let the Zerg do the work. They don't even have to touch
Yeah,
the
this
core.
core is gone.
And
That was a good game.
it was. I was a little worried in the beginning with some of the deaths on the side of ReGen, but they made the plays when they had to.
Yeah, looking still at the stats at the 10-6, kills definitely in favor of Tiny Dancers, but the map was not.
Yeah, we didn't have a ton of kills on the right side, but we do have Kael'thas leading everyone in damage, and then Raynor and Jaina with that combo is, we kind of called during the draft. They did get the value, they get some takedowns, but it just seemed like maybe the takedowns they got weren't at the. I don't know if they were not at the times they needed to, with relation to the objectives and the camps, but it just didn't work out for them. The macro ReGen Phoenix was just stifling the entire game.
Yeah,
So
I think that probably best states it is the macro from ReGen. Maybe when Tiny Dancers got those extra kills, they should have been grabbing camps or structures or something to advance the map in their favor.
All right, so let's put the point up for ReGen Phoenix to make it official. So it's 1-1. So at this point, ReGen Phoenix, with that win, I believe they're in second place. They don't have to worry about being overtaken. Tiny Dancers, if they win the next game, can still jump up to fourth place. So there's still that to play for on the side of Tiny Dancers. And we'll wait for the teams to tell us where they're going to send us next. Where do you want to go this time? We didn't get Dragonshire. Do you still want to see Dragonshire this game?
Okay, just remind me, what all do we have available? Tell you my favorite.
Okay, so we have Valtrak Pass, we have Battlefield of Eternity, and we have Dragonshire, and we have Volskaya Foundry. Those are our possibilities.
That's all.
Yep.
I think I'd rather see Battlefield.
I do like Battlefield of Eternity. The drafts are interesting. I think there's a lot more brawling there on that 2-lane map. You get a lot of interesting fights there in the middle. It's definitely fun to
Yep.
watch.
I see the pool now, so we could go to Dragonshire or Dragonshire's still up, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
Dragonshire is still in the mix.
Well, I don't know. I think I'd like to see Dragonshire. Come to think of it, I think that's where I want to go. We see plenty of the BOE in our games, so ready to see some Dragonshire.
And Wraithling gets his wish, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to go to
Woo!
Dragonshire. Let's see who picked the map. So we'll go to Dragonshire. And it was picked by ReGen Phoenix, so Tiny Dancers wants first map pick. So, oh, I haven't put the wins there. I've been slacking on my caster duties. I did not notate the wins. I apologize, everyone. So we'll wait while the teams assemble everything. So it's been the first game was, I felt Tiny Dancers, they had a pretty dominant performance there. In the second game, ReGen got off the mat, and I thought they were really strong in that game. Neither game has really felt much in doubt, so we'll see what happens in this game.
Yeah, should be exciting. I just right out of the gate, I'm expecting to see that Rexar again if it's not banned out. Just a dominant off lane and played well by Mudge, so I would expect to see the Rexar again. Or maybe if you're Tiny Dancers, you go ahead and take that off the plate.
That's a good point. I just looked at the clock. I do apologize to everyone who was waiting for the season premiere of The Masked Singer. It's starting after the Super Bowl, so we're going to cut into that a little bit. My apologies.
Interrupting your regularly scheduled programming.
I should hate that show. It is everything that I should hate, but I can't get enough of it. Except for Jenny McCarthy. Other than that, I'm on board.
What what did you say the name of it
The
was?
Masked Singer on Fox.
No, I have no knowledge of this.
Good thing I could bring the cast to a complete halt with that little anecdote there. Good job, Bracken.
Eh, Well, as we go into a lull here for Dragonshire. So, if you're Tiny Dancers, you win game one, you lost game two. You gotta find a way to get that momentum back. I mean, obviously for ReGen here, they don't have a lot on the line, but Tiny Dancers now can actually put themselves up a little bit in standing. So let's see what they can put
Yep.
together.
And if they move from fifth to fourth, it'll be the same matchup, but they'll get the home field advantage, meaning they get the automatic coin flip win. I believe is the difference. All right, so let's get into the draft.
And whose map was this again?
This was picked by ReGen Phoenix.
Okay,
So
so ReGen took us here, so I'm guessing Tiny Dancers will first pick.
bands we might see that are different. We might see Dahaka. We might see Falstad. We might see Brightwing. I don't know if these teams play them or not, but maybe you get rid of ETC, so you don't have to worry about him stage diving from place to place.
Perhaps.
Got to
Maybe
worry about
Deathwing.
Morales with her ult that she can travel, but I don't think that's probably played much up here in B, unless you're trying to juice
Mm,
pirates or something crazy like that.
Wouldn't that be something fun to see? A nice little Pirates game.
Well, I think if we see Tyrael Morales come out here, I think we'll know what's going on. But unfortunately, so will the other team. You'll start to see bans, and I just, I think he had to sneak that one in there.
And the Sylvanas ban. Okay, so I guess right off the bat, they're still not too afraid of the Rexar unless they're thinking we'll grab him. Zildjian,
Zul'jin,
obviously a favorite of Tiny Dancers.
somebody's got to rock Zul'jin over there.
ETC. So you thinking we're gonna have a stage dive ETC this game?
I was just trying to think of the things that might affect the draft. You might see different.
Yep, so this could be a solo lane ETC. Just put him in the solo lane with stage dive, and he can leave Rexar and just come to bottom, come to mid. And we can see Mudge on Rexar, no big surprise. I think he played it well last game, and Dragonshire is it isn't won by the top lane, but strong top laner can definitely make the difference in the win or loss.
It's kind of like XP. It doesn't win you the game, but the loss of it sure as heck does lose you the game.
I stand
So we see Vala here, lots of damage coming out. We see Anduin again. He had a decent game in that second game. He's just a strong all-around healer.
Yeah, and they use the light bomb to great effect, so be exciting to see some more of that. Maybe a mosh pit into a light bomb just to lock him in a little longer.
I would really like to see Tiny Dancers get some more beef in front of Vala as well.
And the Uther ban. Don't want to see Uther again.
They did not like that. So I wonder if we'll see the Mal'Ganis come out again, and that Uther's kind of a paving the way for Mal'Ganis, or they just flat didn't want to see it.
You know, I have to say that they were probably just annoyed by being stunned all the time.
I will fight to my last breath.
Rhaegar and Muradin coming out, so, you know, guessing they must have a strong Rhaegar. Rhaegar got banned last game. Maybe a favorite for ReGen.
The camp potential is good on this map too.
Kel'Thuzad. Nice.
And we have Blaze to complete that front line, so from Blaze will get the stuns. He might make it easier for Kel'Thuzad to stack too. If ETC and Blaze can take care of their backline and keep them safe, this could be kind of oppressive. We'll have to see how it goes.
Yet, when you see Vala, normally, you know, you're thinking she's a little squishy. Sometimes pair that with another support, but with Kel'Thuzad, it kind of, he should be able to put pressure on them from back in the back. It'll be hard to dive that, I think. So, ReGen picks up a global in Falstad. I still think they're gonna put Rexar solo lane. I could be wrong there, as I so frequently am.
I think you'll see him up top lane with just him and the bear hanging out there.
Okay, Mr. Rackham, which one of these drafts do you like the best? Third time's a charm.
I like the potential of Tiny Dancers. I like that Vala Kel'Thuzad mix. You've got all the auto attack and then all the spell damage. If the front line can let them move, it could be very impressive. But I like the draft on a ReGen Phoenix too. It's maybe a little more just solid top to bottom. Maybe not the burst potential, but with Rexar on the solo lane, you've got Falstad with the global too. So on the left, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Introduce the ReGen Phoenix for us.
We got Mudge running again on Rexar. We got Drebo running on Falstad. Aria on Rhaegar. Rabid Penguin taking Raynor. And Arrow running Muradin.
And as we approach mid, so we have Elijah on Blaze. We have Liddell tanking this game. There was a little swap there. So he's on ETC. We have Silver on the Kel'Thuzad. We have Materium on Anduin, and on Vala we have Feldroth. So a little change in roles here.
Yep, you know, I think I like ReGen's draft better, but you know, Tiny Dancers has a lot on the line. I think we'll see how this plays out.
We have this stun on a Muradin, but he's able to get out. As far as stacking quests, we have Blaze. That's a pretty easy quest to finish. But the most important thing is going to be that Master of the Cold Dark. Once he gets 15, he gets a Glacial Spike. That's good for him. Once he gets 30, he gets the extra spell power. That's great for him. So they'll want to be careful and not let him stack. He'll
I'm
get the stacks
interested.
eventually, but you want to push him off as long as you can.
Yeah, I'm interested about this laning arrangement. They've got Vala on top actually going against uh, Rexar. I don't think she can win this, you know, but she can definitely play back, play safe, don't lose it. But I'm not sure she can win against Rexar. ReGen taking a camp already, taking the 4 camp, gonna put a lot of pressure on top.
Shrines. Inherit the Dragon Knight's power and lay waste to this forsaken kingdom.
ReGen also going for camp. Siege camp there. Invaded.
Blue team draws first blood.
Oh, looks like Vala's taking out that bear. And got Tiny Dancers moving to take this. Take the bottom control point. Blaze going for a charge that misses.
Hero slain. Hero slain.
So Rexar and Misha are able to hold that top point. Kel'Thuzad's come in, so we have an extra bear up there. So we do have a channel on the side of ReGen Phoenix. They're not going to be able to take it. Let's look at our stacks here for Kel'Thuzad. He's at 16, so he does have Glacial Spike. Fausted did go bribe, so we'll see if we get him to watch him steal some camps, maybe.
So it looks like ReGen's trying to take this bottom back. If they take this, they can try and get the channel off on the Dragon Knight.
Yep, arrows in there, getting ready to stun somebody. He jumps away to safety. Blaze comes out, throws the fire there.
Yeah, it looks like Tiny Dancers is missing some soak mid there. Missed a wave. Just trying to team fight ReGen. ReGen picking up that camp.
Hey, evidently I dropped off for a little bit there. Sorry, guys. Looks like I'm back
Yeah.
though.
I definitely thought somebody was having problems because I quit hearing anything at all.
Usually my team's happy when they don't hear me anymore. So we won't be hearing anything from Rhaegar for another 17 seconds. ETC takes him out. So Tiny Dancer's holding that bottom point pretty strong. But in the meantime, up on the top, it looks like that fort is in trouble. I don't know if they're going to be able to get back there in time to defend it. Blaze coming up there. I don't know if he's going to get there in time. The minions are there. Yeah, the fort's going to stand.
Save it, but it's in a lot of trouble. No well, so that's really important for your top laner on this map to have that well. If you start losing the map, losing that matchup, you can go back get a sip.
So we do have the camp taken on the side of Tiny Dancers. Blaze with the stun on Rexar. He's not going to be able to kill him.
Their, hard camp again.
Be interesting to see how that plays out in the top.
6 minutes, level 10s, no dragon captured yet.
Let's see what we have for 10. So we have Avatar for Muradin. Unleash the Boars. Rhaegar still thinking about it. We have Mighty Gust, and we have Rainer's Raider, so we didn't see the Hyperion this game. So we have Rain of Vengeance, Valor with the lockdown. Oh, Kel'Thuzad has his phylactery. And let's put a hold on that for a second. So we've got ReGen looking at the bottom fort, and they're going to take that fort. And they've got a camp. So do you think they push keep wall here, or do they go looking for a fight somewhere?
I think this is where they go look for the fight, try to get this dragon follow-up off this. I mean, Tiny Dancers has to clear this up. That gives them an advantage in a fight somewhere. And, you know, hopefully the potential to get dragon. With Deribo on Falstad, he can make a global, and he is flying in now. The top lane.
Looks like Blaze is in trouble. Deribo aggressively goes in. The bunker does come out. The stage dive. Bloodlust.
Bloodlust had picked up for that level 10. And there goes the boar, slowing everybody down.
Rhaegar was sitting on that pick.
I think they get dragon here.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Oh.
So is that a last second pick and pop?
I'm not sure if it was a last second pick, but he did sit on it for a little while.
Yep. And we finally got our dragon, first dragon at 822.
So I think
what they can do with it.
We've seen all the ults on Tiny Dancer except for the light bomb from Anduin. Kel'Thuzad is dangerously close to getting stacked. That could flip this game over a little bit.
Rexar is going to go ahead and take the top fort for good measure. So ReGen really putting the pressure on the top lane.
I think
Rexar should have no trouble from here on out controlling that.
With Arrow as Muradin inside the dragon, he's able to take the fort and then jump away to safety. That was a good decision to put him inside it. We do have the light bulb come out.
Could be in trouble here. A big combo from Kel'Thuzad takes out Rainer. Muradin gonna fall as well.
That combo put him at 32. He's now a fully operational Death Star.
Couple of defensive ults from ReGen there with the boars and the guts to disengage. And it looks like Tiny Dancer is going to use this opportunity to try to get some camps, clearing up their lanes. Top is pushed in very far, bottom about the same, and middle is still clashing right out there in the open.
Yep, Vala's going to start to work on that camp. I wouldn't be surprised to see them take their hard camp here shortly afterwards. Deribo's going to come in and check out the situation. He sees ETC and says, not today. However, we do have a full complement of Red Hellfires coming in. The camp,
late.
Yeah, the camp was taken. Oh, Kel'Thuzad dishing out the damage.
On 2.
I believe we got a cleanse on Rexar there, so the cleanse is down for a little bit.
Yep, and you're right, they're going for their hard camp. Will ReGen try to invade this? They've got nothing else to do.
Yeah, this is when it gets dangerous. When it's boring, there's nothing to do. It's so easy to become impatient.
Prepare yourselves,
and
the shrines
big
will soon be
difference, you know.
active
A lot of the times we see a lot of patience out of these teams, but it's hard for our guys in Div D. We get a little impatient. We want to hurry up the fight and get the game won. KTZ misses chains there. The bear is in a little bit of trouble, but gone.
Poor bear, poor Misha.
You hate to see it.
So
Oh,
the camp is pushing. I don't know how much value they're going to get. Looks like Rexar's probably going to be able to clean it up without much trouble, although they are pushing with it now, so maybe that equation just changed a little bit.
yeah.
Wonder
The
if they'll get
Tiny
the wall.
Tiny Dancers opting to stay 5 here while ReGen is split up. They could get fort here if they push hard, I think. No minion support. They think better of it.
Yep, they got a little damage off one turret. On the meantime, the camp from Region Phoenix goes down immediately.
Yep,
Almost
bottom
immediately.
lane is in bad shape for Tiny Dancers.
But
They're
that
gonna
camp
lose.
is still up. That one minion will not die. So we do have the channel on the side of Regen Phoenix, so let's take a look there. Arrow jumping in, but he is stunned. He gets, and then the light bomb
Big combo on 2. Oh, is Merton gonna go down?
popped his
He really
avatar.
could use an ancestral right now.
Ooh,
Uh, just running through the maze, nearly got by that stage dive.
I think Arrow might be psychic because I thought for sure he jumped before ETC landed.
And that's just how good you are in Div B. You know what's
Yes.
gonna happen before it happens. Got Blaze trying to take top point, but up against Rexar, he just don't think he can win it. Can't win this matchup.
Yep, he's in a little bit of trouble maybe actually. I think he'll get away.
Yeah, if he had waited just a little bit longer, I think he may die anyway. Rainer is right on his tail.
Oh,
Oh, and he
bunkers dropped.
drops to get away.
Oh,
and a
Kel'Thuzad
combo.
getting it done. Arrow's in trouble.
Arrow.
Does he have the leap? He does.
But Gus disengaged there. Like Blaze is gonna go down to the bottom lane. Try to stop this channel.
So Vala's going to get that camp. She'll take it with no trouble. Let's look at our 16s that we have. Oh, looks like he disconnected, but it looks like he's back. No one's paused it, so I guess we're okay. Oh, we do have a pause.
Technical difficulties all around, ladies and gentlemen. Both on the side of the casters and players.
Yep. How long was I out for?
I stopped hearing you for, I don't know, maybe 2 minutes in the early game.
Oh,
And
we
we're
are back.
So Blaze is going to clean up this camp, maybe try to protect his interest in bottom, but Rexar's already on the point. It's a little too late.
Yeah, Misha's got to bail out though.
Misha's gone. They're gonna keep this, maybe keep the point, and they do secure that point.
Regen is
Big
all
push party
together
for
in mid.
ReGen
Yep.
here.
Little surprise party.
This is the kind of situation with wind tunnel at 20 from would be just devastating.
Oh, Kel'Thuzad, is he the guest of honor? No, Blaze is. Arrow just gets a stun, has to walk away a little bit.
Blaze threw the oil out. I thought that would have given him vision, but I guess maybe oil doesn't give full.
Oh, the bear gets stunned. The bear's on fire. The bear gets chilled. I think the chill missed, so he's able to walk away. So we've got Arrow. He's up there. I wonder if he's looking for a flank from the top. He's being very patient in that lane.
I think so. I think he's waiting on a rotation where he can get in. And he's going to go for behind him anyway.
We had the Bloodlust. Bunker drop.
Just try to save himself, but he is in deep. He's put Gusted to the back, and he is just taking a ton of damage from that Rainer. And the Blaze falls. Light bomb goes out, hits none. And they're gonna take 4 remaining members and stage dive top to get this point. Stop the channel a little longer. The name of the game here is gonna be delay. Oh, and Kel'Thuzad falling.
Oh, Vala with that last little bit of the queue. So we're at 4v4 here.
Kel'Thuzad has used his phylacteries back on the field.
So the channel is available. It looks like Tiny Dancers are not going to let them have it. They're all 4 mid. They'll
Yeah,
be up
this is
at
a
full strength here shortly before ReGen is.
So Blaze would be back up. He's up now. You know, you gotta send him, I think, and try to get one of these points back while the rest of the team defends the channel on Dragon Knight.
So they started to take the hard camp, but they backed off. They decided they needed their presence mid.
Yeah,
Probably good
can't
decision.
Can't grab that camp right now. It's just too much going on in middle. They're gonna lose their 5-man advantages coming back up as we speak. They're gonna invade on ReGen's siege camp. It looks like ReGen's taking the bottom camp though to make up.
And that leaves no one there mid. Does he have a Shadow Fisher to interrupt it? He does not. He had 4 seconds left on that cooldown.
Rexar sneaks Dragon. There is a huge wave top lane and quite a big amount of trouble. Bottom even more with Dragon and a camp coming down. This is gonna be a tough defense for Tiny Dancers.
Dragon's very healthy. We do have 20s. We have the wind tunnel from Falstad. We'll see if he can get cheeky with it. That keeps dead, and I think they're looking at the core. A level 20.
They're looking to go core here.
Yeah,
sure.
The level 20 dragon isn't an automatic,
Oh,
but
and
if
a
they
big,
get killed.
big power slide, but no follow up. Derivo and Rabid Penguin both real low after that power slide.
I think that gust was the thing that really got Blaze killed, and this core's in trouble. I don't think there's anything they can do to stop it.
And with that, Tiny Dancers knocked out of the moving up in the standings.
All right, and I believe ReGen 2-1. Yep, that was the only outcome that wouldn't actually affect the standings. So the standings will not change after this game gets reported. So let's look at damage here. Valor with a ton of siege damage. She and Kel'Thuzad are really able to dish out the damage, and they did get a lead in kills 8-5. But I think the macro ReGen was just a little bit better the whole game. They did a better job controlling the points. That last dragon, letting Rexar hang around mid and get it himself, I think was a mistake. I think if they go back and look at the replay, that's a play they'll want back. Someone should have been mid to interrupt that.
I totally missed where Rexar was, so it was easy to lose him, and I had full map vision. So
You do.
you know, I think they were just in that the mindset where they were losing a couple of folks, and a lot to juggle in that map, especially when you're behind. They had a lot of pressure in both bot and top lane.
All right, well, let's take it back to the game summary here, and I will press the button and make it official. We have a ReGen 2-1, and Arrow evidently is not getting enough of hearing himself talk on Twitch, and he wants an interview, and I was going to pull him in here anyway. So let me give me a second, and we'll get him in here, and we'll talk about this game.
Yeah, kind of funny. Not hurt himself enough on stream, huh?
Waiting on Arrow to make his way in here, and Wraithling as well.
Looks like he's in another lobby.
Oh, I realized you guys were down here. I thought you meant the... Sorry.
Hello.
Hey, guys.
Congratulations, Arrow, on defending your second place seed.
Thank you.
So,
keeping the Tiny Dancers down, no less.
I think I would not be doing my job if I did not immediately ask you, what is up with that Game 1 draft? Is that something you guys have had in your pockets just waiting to get it out, or is that something you guys play a lot? I'm assuming not.
So Coming into this, we knew that any route that we had through the playoffs was similar. But we didn't really care like whether we won, whether we lost. We're in first through third, so it was kind of a something that I just kind of been brewing up in my mind to try out a couple of things. We didn't actually quite do it the way that we were intending to. There were a couple of heroes or slight adjustments we would have made. Um, but yeah, it was something that we wanted to try out to have some fun. It I think it worked out okay-ish. Obviously, we didn't win the game, but if we cleaned up a couple of those team fights, then I think that map result goes the other direction.
Yeah, looking at it from our side, it looked like maybe you guys just got lost a little too much early before you got your big power spikes from Cho'Gall, maybe.
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing. We haven't specifically practiced this setup, so there were some things um, that talents that we might have done differently, timing that we might have done differently. So yeah, definitely.
Well, it was definitely a very entertaining game to watch. So I've got a question on map 2 at Braxis. You guys were uh, down at the end. You had brought back a few kills. You were down 10-4 at one point we mentioned, and then you guys got two more. Looking at the kills, Tiny Dancers had dominated most team fights. So how are you guys able to keep the map advantage when you're kind of losing those sort of team fight moments?
Well, there were two things that we did differently at the beginning of the game and at the end of the game. At the beginning of the game, we started off and said, "Hey, you know what? Let's practice having Mal'Ganis thrown into the back line and see what happens." And we found out real quick how that turned out. But the
Yeah.
problem was is that for most of that game, we were playing to their strengths. We were letting them pick the engages instead of playing to our strengths and saying, "You know what? I'm going to put half of your team to sleep, and then we're just going to destroy you."
So
Um,
was there a moment during that game where someone in comms kind of made a comment, "Hey, we're not playing our game. We're letting them play their game," or is that something you guys just kind of realized over the course of the game?
So it was a little bit of both. There was a point where I literally said, "This is what I need to do in order for this to work. So let me do this." And then we set up the bush gank up at the top when they were clearing the boss or camp or whatever it was, where Garrosh walked in, and then we just like melted him.
Oh yeah.
That was kind of the beginning of that. That was the first point where I said, "Guys, this is what I'm going to do." And then the rest of you follow suit, and then the rest of the engages went very similar.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. But even one of the things that stood out to me is even before that is you guys just still had the map pretty well in your favor. Even though you were losing those engagements, you had made macro decisions before you lost those fights that led to you were 2 forts up, 1.5 fort up. Just basically having the map locked down the entire time, which was impressive.
Well, and that's actually the second thing I was going to say that was done a little bit differently is, you know, we're in a division where we're in the middle between the brawl level of Division D, the ARAM brawl, right, versus the macro plus coordinated team fighting of heroic. And so there's a lot of that kind of hybrid people kind of feeling out how they are. And last season that was us. Like, let's run around and try to brawl and kill everybody. And we took a lot of time and practice and patience to up our macro game. And I think that's why we did successfully against some of the top teams in the division. And I think probably why we lost some of the games that we did against some of the teams at the bottom part of the playoff bracket, because we were trying to play their game instead of our own game. And we just said, finally, you know what? Let's not do that anymore.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. You mentioned patience, and we actually made that comment during the cast. Wraithling pointed out during the first Towers of Doom game, I believe Deribo was at the altar and didn't channel because you had a an altar that you could take down. You took at least one altar down. I think maybe a second one, or maybe didn't have time for the second one. But that's one of those little things. We could get 4 points here, or we could wait and get 5 points. And if you're new to the game or just haven't played very much, it's those things are very very hard to teach. And I think uh, it's there's a dangerous point where if there's nothing to do on the map, oh my gosh, that's when the game gets squirrely because there's nothing to do. And there was one point, I believe it was on the game of Braxis, where I pointed that out, and you guys just kind of chilled for a moment. There was no, okay, we have to go get a fight, we have to go do something. There's nothing we can do. Just let the XP passively come in. So if you guys have been working on your patience, it is really really paying off. I was really impressed by it. So well played, well played.
We had an acquisition this season, which was Rabid Penguin. He was on Reborn Knights Black last season. They were slightly ahead of us in the standings. I think we were number 9 last season. I think they were number 7. And Murder, who was our player last season and kind of self-demoted to sub because of school. Fantastic player, love playing with her, but the addition of Penguin really added another layer of value to our roster. Penguin's a calm, cool, quiet, collected person. Darabo very, very rarely even speaks, and when he does, it's obviously important information. So it allows us to communicate effectively, and we don't get tilted. Like the moment that anybody is kind of getting that moment of frustration, and it's usually Mudge or me or Arya, whatever. It's water off a duck's back. 30 seconds later, we're in the next team fight. It's time to go.
Well, whatever you guys are doing, it's definitely working for you. So I'll ask you this. It's a question I stole from you. What's your favorite moment of the match tonight?
My favorite moment of the match, I would say, it's in the game that we lost, and I'm going to be a little selfish on this one. The first time that I called out for Garrosh to be the target on the Octo Grab in game number 1, and he just got deleted. It was like, oh, guys, by the way, we can just screw this guy over, and then we could win the game. And that's one of those things that if we had done differently, I think, we would have won that game. But it was, again, it was inexperience with the comp. And I did want to point out, I saw some chat about was it purposely thrown or anything like that? And the reality of it is that we were very, blasé about specifically how we wanted to approach this. We have good friends over on Tiny Dancers. Arya plays with them, pretty regularly. So, our first game of the set, we're like, let's just have some fun, try some things out, and then see where it goes. I will say this: I 100% expected the Braxis pick, and pretty much expected how it went down. So, considering they banned it 7 times this season, I was pretty excited to get the chance to go there and play there against them because I don't think we've played.
Yeah, I was very surprised. I don't mind Braxis, but I know there's like this gentleman's agreement that nobody wants to play on that map. So I'm like, okay, so we got Murky and Cho'Gall. Now we got Braxis. We're officially in Crazy Town, and I love it. That's what I love about this game. It's something weird happens every game, and it's never exactly the same. And you guys were definitely put on an interesting show. So you guys are now second in the playoffs. If I'm reading the tea leaves right, you'll be playing Bread Rising Esports this week. So you guys have been around in Division B for quite a while, right?
We have been in Division B 2 seasons, last season and this season.
So going into the playoffs, is there a team you particularly fear, or a team like, oh, we have a score to settle, or we don't want to play these guys because we don't play them very well? I mean, is there anything on that bracket you guys kind of circle on the calendar, like this is the one where we really need to step it up and bring our A game?
Not necessarily. And just to clarify, we actually are not playing Bread Rising. We'll play against Jailbait. Jailbait has the tiebreaker there.
Well,
so
my apologies.
Phoenix Rising will. Yeah, no worries. So but either way, I mean, that actually is probably like I would probably rather play against Bread Rising in the first round than Jailbait. Jailbait is a very veteran team, and we lost to them here a couple of weeks ago. They're a quality team, and they've got great players. So they made some adjustments to their roster. I expect that they'll be a strong contender. I bumped them up in my power rankings when I did the B East power rankings for Next Edge, because I felt like the way they started the season is not how they ended the season. And I think that if they started the season the way they ended the season, that Jailbait is a top 4 team. So but in all seriousness, this is an extremely competitive division. Any of these teams could win against any of the other teams. It's going to be absolutely just a bloodbath.
And beyond.
And beyond.
Ah, see what we did there?
Set us up. Thank you very
what a
much.
layup, dude.
Okay, well, I think that's all the questions I have. Wraithling, you have any more questions you want to throw at our buddy Arrow?
I don't have any questions. You guys played great. It was a fun game to watch and cast, and hopefully if you go back and watch it, just hope that we did a good job for the head caster.
Yeah, just ignore the 90 seconds to 2 minutes where my mic was muted. Let's just skip by that. Let's pretend it didn't happen. So, any shout outs or anything before we let you go, so you can get scheduling your next match and getting all the scrims going and everything going?
Yeah, absolutely. So I want to start off by shouting out our casting crew. We have a bunch of people who've started casting just this season, and it's been really fantastic. A lot of people have learned a lot, done really well. I appreciate you guys doing this and picking this cast up, especially on Super Bowl Sunday. So I wanted to say that first. Obviously, ReGen Phoenix and the ReGen organization, absolutely just fantastic people, super stoked. And I'm so excited for my team to be in this position, to be at, second place in the division. I got to specifically shout out our subs, Recyclic, Murder, and Ty, because, we need them at times, and without them, it certainly puts us in a... So, who else do I want to shout out? We'll shout out Kat in case she's watching, and Liz and Max in case they're watching. And I think I think that'll wrap me up. I think that's good.
Okay, well, we look forward to good things from you guys in the playoffs, and everyone have a good night.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, all right, well, I think that's going to wrap it up from me and Wraithling here at Casting Central. So hope everyone enjoyed the show, and go out there and good luck in your games, everyone.
Adios.